We are looking for answers. We are angry, lost, seeking truth and unbiased information. We want to make our country safe again. We are passionately holding on to our freedom. We want to defend our union. Here is the antidote to powerlessness. Constructive, not destructive. Welcome to Mad as Hell University.
Welcome, defenders, to Mad as Hell University, where we give you constructive tools instead of destructive fears. I'm your host, Raj Doraisamy. I came to the United States in 1986 and I left 3 countries to get here. What I saw in Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe is exactly where the United States is heading today. I don't want that. You don't want that. We together need to and want to save our country. If you do not face your anger with wisdom, you will not find a strategy to overcome the problem. And that is what we do at Mad as Hell University. This week, we're going to give you the tools you need to protect your children from the mask, organize against the mask mandates, and show you how to grow and influence your school, your community, and most importantly, win. Here at Mad as Hell University, we're all about action. And as a parent, kids need to see you standing up for what you believe. And they need to know that you're doing the best you can to protect them. You may have thought that schools had the same goals as you did. But now for the first time, you're looking at the chaos and realizing that your goals as a parent and the schools may not be the same. In fact, the National School Board Association wants you as a concerned parent to be treated as, are you ready for this? A domestic terrorist. That's right. The National School Board Association, representing 90,000 school board members, went directly to Mr. Biden like a tattling, spoiled child, whining that concerned and often legally protesting parents should be treated like enemies of the state. This is exactly what happened in the countries I left. And this is what's happening in the United States of America. This suggests that the National School Board Association considers you, as a concerned parent, on the same level of danger as one of Osama bin Laden's cronies. Calling concerned parents domestic terrorists means that the government can invoke the Patriot Act. This is a controversial series of laws that were meant to protect Americans after 9/11. But in the past 20 years, these laws have seriously eroded our rights to privacy, and in several cases, Americans have been arrested without notice. They've had no rights, such as a trial by jury, their belongings have been seized by government, and they have been indefinitely proclaimed guilty without any legal ability to appeal or question the charges. That's why that organization wanted you as parents classified as domestic terrorists. And I remember when terrorists were actually bad guys. Last time I checked, the PTA, school board meetings, and parent-teacher conferences were supposed to be concerned with the education of children and working within our communities with parents. Are schools that terrified of their students' caregivers? You're proud of your country, have probably defended its rights in our great military, or are starting to defend your rights here at home, and you want to do what's best for your children in school. You probably raised them not to be whiny little tattletales like the frightened National School Board Association members. All of this should make you passionately furious. And if you want to do something, but you don't know how to go against the system in a legal, constructive, and impactful way, in a way that gives you a chance to win and make your voice heard. Let's switch gears and leave all of this chaos in the dust. First, you need to organize around a framework. What am I talking about? You've done this. You've done this countless times. Think about the last social gathering you had. Someone organized, someone was assigned to bring drinks, another person the salad, another person the dessert, while you were at the grill lighting the flames and minding the fire. See, when you spread the load and you give different obligations, different responsibilities to different people, and everything's clear, you're now able to be far more effective. Without organization, you're just one voice screaming to be heard amid 1,000 others singing the same tune, because that is what they've taught us to say, or that is what we've been made to believe is the only safe way. But there are others who want to join with you. What I mean by that? In your location, in your community, there are other organizations with people just like you who want to partner with you, who are committed to the same ideals that you are. Who do I mean? I'll give you a few examples. The Christian Family Coalition, the Hollow 2A, the Florida Citizens Alliance, Women Fighting for America, Moms for Liberty, Venice Parents, Moms for America, The America Project, Conservative Watch USA, Manatee Community Patriots, Florida Republican Assembly, Florida Republican Caucus, Pinellas Community Patriots, Vocal Locals, 1986, The Act, County Citizens Defending Freedom, Republican executive clubs throughout the country, America's Future, Sidney Powell's organization, Frank's Speech, Clout Hub, and there's more. We're going to give you more action steps and a win when we come back. We're back, and here is attorney Jeff Childers, who successfully fought against the mandates in Gainesville, Florida. And are you ready for this? He won.
This isn't a hopeless battle then. It's possible to win and fight back to protect your personal medical autonomy.
That's correct, Stu. These vaccine mandates are totally unconstitutional. We recognize that from day one. I think there's been a really organized battle plan on behalf of the pro-vaccine lobby, whatever you want to call that, or whoever you think is involved. But
psychopathic serial killers. Go ahead.
I'll use your words, but they've started a long time ago. And I don't know, have you ever heard of the case of Jacobson versus Massachusetts from 1905? Okay. So starting about 6 months ago, or maybe longer, the media started running stories about this case. And it's this antique case from 1905 where the Supreme Court said that Massachusetts law requiring its citizens to get smallpox injections during outbreaks or get a $5 fine was okay. All right. So the Supreme Court blessed that. And so, starting, maybe a year ago, the media was running articles about this case and how it was a mandate killer, right? I mean, it would just support any mandate the government wanted to do, even though it's, 140 years old, even though at the time it was only applicable during smallpox outbreaks, which is like a huge killer. And there was only a $5 fine, and the smallpox vaccine had been around since the 1700s, and it was well known and safe. So anyway, a lot of lawyers got scared of this case, this Jacobson case, and in different places, like in Texas, there's this Methodist hospital case where a federal judge upheld the hospital's vaccine mandate and cited the Jacobson case, and so everybody was terrified of it, but they don't understand what the case really says. And that's what we used in our template. We used, instead of running from Jacobson, we embraced Jacobson. Because what Jacobson says, and granted that language is a little archaic, right? It's not these and thous or anything, but it's pretty dense. And what it really says is the Supreme Court said, hey, the federal Constitution doesn't say anything about vaccine mandates. So you have to look to the law of the individual state.
As Attorney Childers said, this is a state issue. The federal government cannot be enforcing mandates like this. It's not in the Constitution. These mandates cannot be legally forced upon you. They rely on your compliance.
I also won at the District Court of Appeal a case where the District Court of Appeal found that mandatory masking was presumptively unconstitutional. That was in May. We haven't gotten any national coverage on that story either, even though it's the only appellate decision in the entire country finding that mandatory masking is unconstitutional.
And what does this mean for you and your legal rights? It means that there are law cases on the legal books that are in your favor against mask mandates. And this gives you power because you can bring this information with you to your groups, your meetings, your community, your schools, other parents. Essentially, you get to read the law against fear and tyranny.
What I want to tell your folks is that these cases can win. The template is very simple, right? It is unconstitutional. They don't own your body. They're trying to treat our bodies like property. A farmer has a herd of cattle, and nobody cares what that farmer injects in those cows because they're his property, right? And back in 1700, they owned people, and you could inject into those people that you owned anything that you wanted. But we fought a bloody civil war in this country to end that. And so your body is your body, and it's nobody else's. It's not the government's, for sure, because what's the difference between a slave owner and a slave versus a free citizen who's a citizen of a government? If you can't do with your body what you want to do with it, then you have no rights left. You're just a slave.
Wow. Thank you, Attorney Childers. To watch the full interview, go to the Stu Peters Show. You can find them at rumble.com and at the link below. You also want to get connected to Jeff Childers, connect to his blog so that you can keep up to speed with his entire strategy and how you can use what he's doing in your communities. See, this is how you accelerate. This is how you move forward, working collaboratively. Now that you know that winning is possible, are you ready to stand against overwhelming propaganda? We encourage people to join with others because communities need to work together to encourage and inspire each other through these challenges. So please consider joining one of these organizations. Why? Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you saw one person take on an entire football team? Never happens. It's always a team against a team. Earning our freedom and now preserving our freedom will continue to be a team sport. How many people declared independence? How many people signed the Declaration of Independence? Was it one person or was it a team? It was a team. This is why you have to get connected with a team and take action. So if you have a group, please let us know so we can connect other volunteers to support you. Do you have a video? If not, make a video and then use social media accounts, platforms that are still available to tell your story of challenges and call out other people to join you. We have seen citizen journalism change the country. Let's tell people what's going on from our point of view, not some other big town or not some out of town, out of touch, big name media. Don't tolerate or accommodate people that are complaining about mainstream media. There are so many phenomenal, fast-growing channels that are highly relevant that'll get your message out. What am I talking about? MeWe.com, Gab.com, CloudHub.com. These are just a few of the networks available to get the word out. You need to take advantage of that. We need to stop whining and start actioning. Now back to Attorney Childers. From his website, get connected to his website. It's called Coffee and COVID. You see the link down here. Get connected with his website. See what he's doing because he is one of the few people that are doing work that's actually winning. His results are sticking. That's called a touchdown, folks. We just can't be playing. We've got to score. We've got to win. Listen to this. Again, from Jeff Childers' website. Schools in Florida must give parents an opt-out from masking policies. Did you know that? That's a rule in our state of Florida. If you didn't know that, now you do. You take this information with your groups, leverage this information, accelerate your momentum. Our passion is real. Our voices need to be heard. Don't buy into the silence. When there is only silence, it's often too late to speak. I get it. You may not feel comfortable addressing public officials, but it's a bedrock of democracy. It is a First Amendment in our Bill of Rights, which means it was one of the most important freedoms on the minds of those who signed their names to the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence was delivered to a king who could have ordered those men killed just for defying him. But in 1776, you know what they did? They got mad as hell. And today, we as citizen patriots, we are standing on their shoulders. I think the Founding Fathers would still be proud to defend our union. I want to give a shout out to these amazing sponsors here at Mad as Hell University. Please support these sponsors as we continue to bring you action steps in these unprecedented times. Tune in next week. Share, defend. More programs, more action steps, more information to come. And remember, stay mad as hell. Here's a recap of the action steps that we covered today. And here's your recap coming in 3, 2,